Welcome to this tutorial presented by oraclecoach.com. This is Claire Rajan, and in this tutorial I will discuss the SQL commands associated with creating tables. When creating a table, there are certain guidelines associated with naming tables and columns. This slide discusses the basic guidelines that you must keep in mind. Firstly, a table name or a column name must begin with a letter. It can be 1 to 30 characters in length. It can only contain the characters which are listed on this slide, namely uppercase A through Z, lowercase a through Z, the numbers 0 through 9, the underscore character, the dollar sign, or the pound sign. A user or schema of the database cannot have two tables with the same name. However, two separate schemas can have tables with the same name. The table name or the column name cannot be an Oracle reserved word. Reserved words are words that have a specific meaning in Oracle. For example, the word select or the word from or order are all reserved words in Oracle, and they all have predefined meanings in Oracle. The syntax to create a table has been displayed on the slide. The syntax reads as create table. Optionally, you can mention a schema name followed by a dot. This is followed by the name of the table, followed by an open parenthesis which begins the column's definition. Each column has a name, a column has a data type, and optionally a column can have a size as well as a default value. Each column is separated by a comma. After all the columns have been defined, you will close the parentheses that you opened when you began the column definition. The columns of a table have a data type associated with them. The data type identifies the type of value that the column can take. The common data types are listed on this slide. You can have number, char, varchar2, and date. The number data type allows you to store numeric values such as a person's salary. The number data type can be written as simply number or number with a precision that is represented with the letter P, or number with both a precision and a scale, where scale is represented by the letter S. The char data type represents fixed length character data. Syntactically, it can be written with or without a width. If specified without a width, the default width is a single character. The varchar2 data type represents variable length character data. Syntactically, it has to be written with a width. The date data type does not take a size and allows you to store date type of values in a dd-mon-yy format. On this slide, you see an example of a column being defined. The column is called salary and is being defined as being defined with a data type of number 12, 2. This means that a number with two decimal places and a total of 12 digits can be stored in this column. 12 is the precision and 2 is the scale. If the value that must be stored in this column was 12,475.50, then the 0.50 is the scale. The decimal point itself does not occupy any place. 10 digits can be defined before the decimal point. The char data type is fixed length character data. The column being defined on this slide is ename. It is defined with a data type of char and a maximum width of 10 characters. If the value to be stored in this column is Tom, then Oracle will store the value Tom, which itself occupies 3 bytes, and will then blank pad the rest of the string with 7 blanks to get a total width of 10 characters. Notice in the diagram that 7 blanks have been added to the value Tom to create a string that is 10 characters long. The varchar2 data type is variable length character data. The column being defined on the slide is ename, and it's defined with a data type of varchar2 and a maximum width of 10 characters. If the value to be stored in this column is Tom, then Oracle will store the value Tom utilizing only 3 bytes for storing the value, where each character will occupy 1 byte. No blank padding is done as in the case of the char data type. On this slide is an example of the creation of a table. On the top half, the structure of the table has been defined, where you have 7 columns that need to be created. The car_ID, a varchar2 column with a maximum width of 3. Category is a varchar2 column with a maximum width of 10. MF_ID, a numeric column with a precision of 5. Vehicle type, a varchar2 column with a width of 20. Model, a numeric column with a precision of 20. Price, a numeric column with a precision of 12. year_MF is a numeric column with a precision of 4. On the second half of the slide, the create table command to create that table has been written. The syntax is create table cars, open parentheses, car_ID, varchar2, and within parentheses we have the size, which is 3. This is then followed by a comma, followed by category, varchar2 of 10, comma, MF_ID, number of 5, comma, vehicle type, varchar2 of 20, comma, model, varchar2 of 20, comma, price, number of 12, comma, year_MF, number of 4. Notice that there is no comma after the last column's definition, and then you close the parentheses that you opened immediately before you started the column's definitions. A column of a table can be associated with a default value. A default value is a value that is automatically stored as the column's value when you do not supply a value for the column. There is an example of a create table command which reads as create table employee, open parentheses, employee_number, number of 4, comma, hire date, date, default sysdate, close parentheses. A default value of sysdate has been associated with the hire date column. Also on this slide is an example of an insert statement which allows you to add a row into a table. The command that is written is insert into employee, open parentheses, employee number, close parentheses, values 100. This type of an insert statement is used when you are passing values only for specific columns. Here we are passing a value only for the employee number column. No value is being supplied for the hire date column explicitly. When a value is not explicitly passed for a column and the column has a default value, the default value will automatically be stored when this row is inserted. The describe command can be used to see the structure of a table after it has been created. The describe will return the column names, their data types, and whether or not they accept null values. A column that has a not null or a primary key constraint will not accept null values. Another way of creating a table is by using an existing table. In this method of table creation, a table is created using a query on another table. The syntax on this slide is written as create table, table name, as, and then you have a select statement that is written. Also on this slide, there is an example of a table called the employees table, which exists in the database. It has 3 columns, EMPNO, eName, and salary. The table has got 2 rows. Also on this slide is an example of the creation of a table called EMP backup that is being created using the employees table. The EMP backup table has been created as create table EMP backup as select eName, salary from employees. The new table called EMP backup will have 2 columns called eName and salary, and all the data from the employees table will become part of the data in the EMP backup table for the columns eName and salary. In this tutorial, I explained the theory behind creating tables using SQL commands. I hope you find this tutorial useful. You can find an organized listing of all our videos on the Oracle Coach website.